Hello friends, in last lecture we have discussed difference between data science and big data. Then we have defined artificial intelligence, and after that we have learned applications of artificial intelligence. Now moving towards next topic. Now we will define why learn and what is learning. So first of all we will define what is learning. So learning is a basic process about getting new, modifying or existing behavior, values, knowledge, skills or preferences. Learning is a process to get the knowledge through experience or study. When we buy a new mobile, at that time we don't have the knowledge to handle it. We cannot immediately use its functionalities, but if we just handle it on trial and error basis, slowly we come to understand the features in it and the process to use them. For this, many revisions may require. So, when we are learning something, then as much we revise the things, that much we become the expert of it. So learning is not new always. Sometimes we learn from past experience also. Depending on the experience, we can take decisions. So human beings are using data to learn. So by using past experience, by using some study material or by observation also, we can learn. Human beings are also trained through some methods. Similarly, we can train animals or machines also. And here we start the machine learning, which is the core part of our course. This is the most important topic from our course. Arthur Samuel is the inventor of machine learning. He defined machine learning as field of study that gives computers the capability to learn without being explicitly programmed. This is the definition by Arthur Samuel. Now again there is another definition given by Tom Michel. He says that learning is any process by which a system improves performance from experience. So these are two definitions of machine learning, and again there are many aspects by using which we can define machine learning. Machine learning is used when first thing is human expertise does not exist. Means at any place, at any time, whenever user cannot reach, then machine learning is used. For example, navigating on Mars. It is not possible for human expertise, so we can use machine learning over there. Second thing is humans are unable to explain their expertise. For example, speech recognition. For speech recognition also, it is very difficult to find out the accuracy by using human beings. So in that case also, or in that applications also, we can use machine learning. Next is we can use machine learning whenever solution changes in time. For example, routing on a computer network. It is always changing over the time as per the requirement. So there also we can use machine learning, or we can say that there is need to use machine learning. Next is solution needs to be adapted to particular cases. For example, user biometrics, because again as per the human being changes, its biometrics are going to be changed. So these are the cases, these are the points when there is need to use machine learning. Now machine learning can be explained as automating and improving the learning process of computers based on their experiences without being actually programmed, that is, without any human assistance. Here, what is meant by past experience? It is nothing but data. The data is provided to the machines, and from that data the machines are going to learn and they will perform on that data. So it is called as past experience for machines. Now learning process for machines starts with feeding good quality data and then training our machines by building machine learning models. So data is provided to an algorithms and then models are built. Here data and different algorithms are used. The choice of algorithms depend on what type of data we have and what kind of task we are trying to automate. So it is as like programming languages. Suppose we want to write a program, that program can be written by using different structures. But as per the needs, we are using one proper structure. It is similar to machine learning algorithm. Now we will discuss one example of training of students during exams. When students prepare for their exams, they don't actually forcefully learn the subject, but they try to learn it with complete understanding. Before the examination, they feed their brain with a good amount of high quality data, that is, questions and answers from different books or teachers' notes or online video lectures. Actually, they are training their brains with input as well as output, that is, what kind of logic do they have to solve a different kind of questions. Each time they solve practice test paper and find out the score by comparing answers with answer key given. So they are solving number of papers, and day by day or time to time or slowly the performance and the confidence goes on increasing with the adopted logic. In the same way, models are built. Train machines with data where both input and output are given to the model. After that, test on the data where only input is given and get our model scores by comparing its answer with the actual output. Additionally, we can take efforts to improve algorithms or techniques so that these models perform even much better. So we can construct algorithms, models, and we can improve them by using new techniques also. Again, we will discuss next example. That example is checking spam email. So we can check whether in our inbox the mail is spam or not. Now here, definition of spam email is not clear because every individual has different interests. The email having the words free iPhone, gift certificate, discount coupons, etc. may be spam email for one person, but for other person who is interested in shopping, this type of email are not spam. So we cannot have particular definition for spam email. For this type of problem, the input is an email document, that is a file of characters, and the output should be mail is spam or not. So what is input? Input is a file which is containing number of emails, and output is the answer whether email is spam or not. We cannot apply universal logic or cannot decide any criteria to solve this type of problem. Human expertise cannot transform into algorithm to solve this type of problems. Therefore, here we can apply machine learning algorithms to solve this given task, to find out that whether mail is spam or not. Now, suppose we want to add two numbers. We can write a function for this type of problem. In that function, we can pass two parameters and we can get the answer as an output. So it will be, or it can be, an easy task for us. So writing code is easy if the problem is simple. But if we want to find out whether the picture is of cat or dog, it will be very difficult to write a code for it. What is the reason? Because it is having many input factors to identify whether it is cat or dog. If we want to develop a machine learning algorithm for above example of identifying the picture of cat or dog, thousands of pictures should be given to the algorithm and output will also be given. Then it will observe the relationship between input and output, learn by itself from examples, and then it can give answer to us. It will be easy for machine learning algorithm to identify the picture if we are providing all the features of it by inputting thousands of pictures of cat and dog to train our machine learning algorithm. From this data, it will learn by itself, and whenever we are providing any picture, it can identify that whether it is a cat or it is a dog. So from data only we are going to train our machines. So while summing up all these things, we can say that anything capable of mimicking human behavior is called as AI. In last lecture only we have defined what is artificial intelligence. It is mimicking humans or copying behaviors of humans. If we are narrow down the algorithm and can think and provide an answer or decision, then it is a subset of AI called as machine learning. So AI is a vast concept, or it is superset. And whenever we narrow down to the algorithm to the specific task, which is thinking and providing the answer or decision, then it is subset of AI and it is called as machine learning. Now we will see what is the relationship between artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. In this diagram we can see that artificial intelligence is a superset, machine learning is subset of AI, and again deep learning is subset of artificial intelligence as well as machine learning. Artificial intelligence is human intelligence shown by machines, because here we are making machines smart and intelligent also. Machine learning is a method to achieve AI. So in machine learning we are going to discuss number of algorithms and models through which we can achieve the task in artificial intelligence. And last one, deep learning is a technique for implementing machine learning. So all the algorithms and the models are implemented by using deep learning, because deep learning is discussing about neural networks or the behavior of humans. By using that, by studying that, we can implement machine learning algorithms. Now we will see what is learning for computers. Now we know that how human being learns. Now we will see how we can train machines. So a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some class of task T and performance measure P if its performance at tasks T as measured by P improves with experience E. You may feel this definition somewhat difficult, but it is not difficult actually. We will discuss one example. From that it will be easy to understand the definition. So see this example. What is learning means for a computer? Example is of handwriting recognition. So we want to identify the words or characters from the handwriting. So task T is, what is the task here? Recognizing and classifying handwritten words within images. This is the task. Now training experience E is a database of handwritten words with given classification. This is experience, means data is provided which is handwritten words with given classification. Now handwritten words are nothing but input and classification is nothing but the output which we want as an answer from our machine. And now what is performance? Percent of words correctly classified, means after providing data, what is the percentage of correct classification by our machine? That is performance measure. This is one example. Now again we will see another example which is already discussed to identify whether mail is spam or not. That example we can consider as spam filter. Here what is the task? We want to decide whether an email is spam or not. This is the task. Then training experience E is the number of emails which are correctly decided as spam, not spam. Means we are going to provide large data to the machine in which the emails are already classified spam and not spam. That data will be learned by the machine or experienced by the machine. And now what is the performance measure? Observing the label of emails for available email data. So another data is given to our model and then its performance is nothing but how it is labeling to our emails as spam or not spam. So this is again another example. Now we will see the difference between traditional programming and machine learning. Now see in this diagram, in traditional programming we first design an algorithm. So whenever some task is given, we find out step-by-step procedure for it, which is called as an algorithm. After that, by using that algorithm, we convert it into a code, means algorithm is converted into a code. Next step is we feed data or input to the program or code and we will get output or the result. So these are the basic steps while using traditional programming languages. First step is develop an algorithm, then convert that algorithm into a code, and then to that code input is provided and we will get a result. Now opposite to that, in machine learning we feed in data, okay, data and program logic, and it forms a overall data. So this data gives us the model. And this is used for training purpose. Now machine creates its own program, means from this data, and by using machine learning algorithms, machine learning model is created. And lastly, we use these models. To these models input parameters are provided and then we will get a result. This is the basic difference between traditional programming and machine learning. So from the data or different type of data, or we can say with input and output data, And by using machine learning algorithms, we can create or construct machine learning models, and to that machine learning models we are providing input parameters and we'll get the result. Now depending on requirement, result can be different. Many times we can use classification, we can use regression, or any type of prediction. So this is the first difference and basic also. Now we'll see next difference between traditional programming and machine learning. Traditional programming is manual process, but machine learning is automatic process. Input and output is given and then program is automatically created, that is model is constructed. But in traditional programming we are writing first the algorithm, then we are only going to write the program and then we can execute it to get a result. But here from data only we can create models and that are used for predictions. Next difference is, again we are knowing this difference, we are using input and a program to get some output. But here we are providing input as well as output and then we are getting a program, and through that program we are providing input data and then we will get output. Now next difference is capability of a program to process number of input parameters. For an accurate output, if we want accurate output, we have to add parameters with high accuracy. Here we have to provide accurate parameters to get accurate output or exact output. But in machine learning there are no such restrictions. If we have enough processor power and memory, we can use any number of input parameters. Here we are finishing traditional programming versus machine learning. This is all about today's lecture. Now in next lecture we will see what is machine learning process. Thank you.